What's your biggest regret from your teenage years? So determined to impress my classmates that I would stretch the truth so I could brag about myself. Now I realize most of them saw through it. If I could only go back, I would slap some duct tape across younger me's mouth. At least you, hopefully, left that behind in your teenage years. Lotta adults out here still trying this cringe move, and while it's embarrassing at 15, it's just deeply sad at 35. I wish that I had taken mom up on her offer to teach me how to cook during those teenage years. It would have been so helpful, both during college and beyond. It was a missed opportunity because she's a great cook and a natural teacher. All the responsible people on this thread wanted to be more irresponsible, and all the irresponsible people wanted to be more responsible. The grass is always greener on the other side. As a wise woman once said, I wasted all my thin years thinking I was fat. I didn't stand up for myself enough. I'm still too worried about how people will react if I say no or refuse to do something. I'm 20, and I wish I lived more of my life not caring what others think of me. I don't like getting in confrontations, so I'll often just tell people what they want to hear. The problem is that if you make a habit of doing it, people will just expect to hear what they want every time. I spent so much time waiting for something to happen, like sitting on some steps outside of a house waiting for something to happen. Hanging out with people I did not really like waiting for something to happen. I feel like so much time was wasted waiting for something to happen, instead of doing something or making things happen. Being mean to my mom. I wore a fedora to prom. And prior to prom I had asked someone out and took the rejection really badly, said a lot of stupid shit on social media, and acted out when asked about it. Also, back when it was a thing to add random people on FB, I used to post all sorts of corny, white knight one-liners. Caring about what people think of me too much, I spent the entire time basically being who I thought everyone else wanted me to be. Cowardice. I was so unsure of myself and awkward. I know that all teenagers struggle with this, but as I look back now from my 40s, that kid in high school had so much going for him. He just didn't know it. The more he cared about fitting in, the less he fit in, and the worse people treated him. Girls were like an alien species and the future was terrifying, but it didn't have to be. I can totally relate. I'm barely out of my teenage years, but I specifically really regret that I turned down romantic relationships. I was such a coward about it. I cared more about how people would perceive me dating someone than actually dating that person, if that makes sense. I wish I hadn't cared about what people thought and just given those relationships a chance. Cliché, but I lost a lot of friends due to excessive online gaming. I kept refusing to go out with them and socializing in general. Plus when college hit I didn't know how to talk to people and how to make friends. Ongoing process. World of Warcraft. Not becoming more involved in groups/activities and not going out on weekends to parties. This programming stuff is cool, maybe I'll learn it one day. 10 years later I'm just getting started. Man, if I had 10 years of experience under my belt right now I would be set for life. The best moment to start was 10 years ago. The second best is today. Godspeed to you. When I was 14 I poured ketchup on our back porch and laid down with my head next to it right as my mom came home from work. She came outside screaming and I laughed. She beat me with her shoe and I was grounded for the weekend. Now that I'm a parent I realize what a real dick fucking move it was and the terror she felt. Not applying for every scholarship that was available for college. Still a teen, but I wish I focused less on isolating myself early on in high school and being a loner with a me vs them mentality. I've stunted myself socially and dug myself into a hole. To be fair, a lot of it stemmed from mental health issues and unresolved trauma, but I was also stubborn as hell and waited way too long to seek help and grow past all of it. Not keeping up with my friends. It's hard to believe, but the last day of high school was the last day I saw most of them. Only in the last few years I found some of them through Facebook, but things are different now. Being shy and awkward around girls. I hope you've gotten over that. PM me Ernikas.